Coming in hot, doing the loop-de-loop, and then and there's no one on now. There's no one on there. I was waiting for someone to stream, but right now it's just running tight, so I think maybe that means that the officially is closed. The rides are closed. I got it in just in time. Right as they were closing, right at 9, I got myself Orange Julius. I always do that when I'm here. So I got myself an Orange Julius right at 9, and the mall is closing. Nice. Right, that's gonna do it for today. Star all lit up right there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is, if all goes well, I'll be home tomorrow night. The vlog is over.
Lily LeGlow for lightweight coverage and effortless.
What are we going to do here?
Today's adventure begins checking out of my hotel room here in Las Vegas. I am leaving Las Vegas. I'm heading to the airport. I'll be going to another international destination as the recording of this Thursday, March 6th. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. Before I begin the stories, I just wanted to mention, if you have your own personal scary story that you would like to send me for me to possibly narrate here on the channel, you can do so by sending it to southerncannibal.com. So if you have a personal true scary story that you'd like to share, please consider sending it my way. Now that all that's out of the way, let's begin. I live in one of the major cities in Europe, and I'm a 17-year-old girl. This happened to me last night at a 16-plus rave that I went to with some of my friends. I started chatting with a guy who turned out to be 22 years old, which already kind of made me suspicious as to what he was doing there. But nothing too weird though. After learning that I was 17, he then told me that he really wanted to take me home with him, which I just brushed off to him being on drugs. He had actually offered me a line earlier, to which I declined. Not only because I had already taken 2/3 of an ecstasy pill, but also because he was a stranger. While doing some dancing, he made a move on me, but I rushed him off. After dancing for a bit next to each other, I asked him for a piece of gum, which in retrospect was a stupid idea. I was pretty out of it at this point, and my friends were nowhere to be seen, but I tried to watch what he was doing to the best of my abilities. He was taking an awful lot of time to take out the piece of gum, joking around awkwardly about how he couldn't get it out, but his hand movement slipped off. That's when I saw it. He had a powder in his finger, a baggie in his hand, and he crushed something in it. I immediately knew what was going on, and I confronted him. He got very defensive very quickly, his demeanor changing in a second. He somewhat angrily raised his voice at me, saying, "What did you think was happening here, little girl?" I just left to go dance somewhere else, but I realized quickly that I had to tell someone. So I went to the entrance to go tell the bouncers about the guy. Although they were nice, they were pretty much help. And they felt like I had the pressure to handle the people they were responsible for. I gave them his description, and I even airdropped a screenshot of the guy's Instagram profile to one of the bouncers. After I left to go find my friends, he approached me again, switching from an apologetic behavior to a defensive one. I guess just trying to convince me that he didn't do anything wrong, but I just stood my ground, and I told him off multiple times. When I went back to the bouncer, he actually told me to go get the guy myself and bring him to the exit, which I of course didn't do, because I didn't want anything to do with him. It was only 17-year-old to go get the guy who tried to drug them.
What
I did eventually get home
is
safely,
going
and nothing
on?
else happened to me. But please, to anyone out there, don't ever take anything from a stranger, not even when you think you have it under control. I'm going to the police tomorrow,
No.
even though I know they aren't going to be able to do anything. I just want there to be a file somewhere bringing some of this accusation, so that maybe another girl who isn't so lucky can have my story to back hers up. At the time this incident takes place, I was somewhere around an 18 to 19-year-old female. This was around the year 2000, pre-Uber or Lyft days. I had an extremely fun friend that was a girl from high school. Her name was Anna. Anna was the kind of friend you would laugh uncontrollably with, and quite often, we would end up in detention together. Well, one Saturday night, I decided to meet up with her. During the time of the event, I was single, while Anna was dating. Her boyfriend came with us on this night. We all hopped in her boyfriend's car, and we drove around a little bit, finally meeting up at a bar/dance club. This all takes place in Chicago, and if you know the right people, you can simply get in. No fake ID required. I absolutely love to dance, so as soon as I got on, I owned the dance floor, and I think got immediately picked up by a guy. His name is Boris. Being a teen, I had very limited funds. However, I thought Boris was a gentleman, as he offered to buy me drinks the whole night. I believe he was 22 at the time, so the age difference wasn't huge. Boris was a big guy, like those strongman competitions big, bulky and huge biceps. This was attractive to me, and we started drinking and dancing together. Soon enough, this led to some kissing. After a couple hours had passed, Anna's boyfriend wanted to go home. He acted as if he was on a mission, walking fast. I watched him grab Anna, and then pull her towards the exit door. They ran after them, and then followed as they were my ride home. Once they got into the car, I was yelling, "Hey, wait for me!" as I was crossing the busy street. Boris running after me. But when I reached the car, Anna's boyfriend purposely locked the car doors and drove off. The car was literally right next to me 1 second ago, and now I'm watching the back of the car just driving off in slow motion. My stomach dropped, and I felt this sinking feeling. Here I was, ditched, stranded with no car, and buzzed. My personal belief was they got into a big fight and didn't want to deal with driving me home. Anyways, Boris saw the whole thing, was polite, and he offered me a ride home. I had no choice. At the time, I never thought I could call my parents. They would kill me. So we went back inside the club, and Boris started getting more aggressive with the kissing. Every time I tried to talk, he would force his lips on me, basically telling me to be quiet, no talking. I wasn't teasing him or leading the line. It was just simply some kissing, no touching or grabbing. When I started feeling uncomfortable, I told him I wanted to go home. Boris was out with his friend, and Boris was the driver, meaning his buddy had to leave with us too. So all three of us got into the car. I was fine with it because Boris's friend was actually a lot nicer than Boris himself. We took off in his car, and I then saw Boris driving the wrong way. The car ride was a little long, almost like he was driving around in circles to spend more time with me. When we pulled up to a house that wasn't mine, I then asked what we were doing here. He said that we were dropping off his buddy, but was asked to help him carry him in. Boris's friend was also another big, bulky guy. I knew I wasn't much help, but his friend was pretty drunk, so it was mostly just Boris who helped him in. Once the door was open, I saw that the house was completely empty and dark. Boris glanced at me, and he had the evil eye. The next thing he said was, "Why don't you come on in?" I sensed that if I went inside, he would get what he wanted, whether I That's when I then started running in the opposite direction, away from the house, yelling, "No way!" Boris called me out, and he promised to take me home right away, and he seemed very serious. So I decided to get back in the car. I saw Boris dragging his buddy back to the car as well. Once driving, Boris said he needed to sober up his friend, and therefore we were all going to go get some food. At this point, it was about 3 to 4 in the morning. I realized Boris is stalling, and I'm starting to freak out. I had stopped all of his advances upon me a while ago, and I just wanted to go home. We then pulled up to a Taco Burrito King. When he parked the car, I had stared inside the restaurant's windows. I was relieved to see someone in there. I had a plan in my head that I would simply get a ride from someone else. Once inside,